Hi guys, I am super excited about our video tonight for a few reasons. One, Matt's with us and I'm super excited about that. We've been talking about this for a long time.
Yes.
Doing these videos together. I'm going to try really hard to get through this without being emotional, and I don't think it's going to happen. So we've been talking about this for a long time, about doing these videos together, and so I'm really excited to be putting this out. And the reason we're putting it out, the reason I'm so excited about this, is today Matt is celebrating 9 months of being sober.
9 months.
Yay. Yeah. Which is a really big deal. And we could literally probably sit and talk for hours, and I've tried to think all day long how to like condense this and not have it be the whole entire story of everything and every aspect of this story, because it's gonna take a lot of videos and we want to be able to like stay specific, I think, with what we're talking about for each one. So because he's celebrating his sobriety, I really wanted to focus on his sobriety. The story of him getting into rehab is definitely a story that he wants to tell, and that's his story to tell, and we'll definitely do that. We're kind of preparing for that. That's a rough one. That's an emotional one. That's one that we've got to kind of prepare for, I think. So that's for another time. So today we really want to focus on his sobriety, and I asked him a couple things this morning. I asked you one thing and we'll get to that, but I wanted to start by, and it's not really something that I think we talk about. We get really busy with our lives and we get really busy. He works 60 hours a week right now, and so we're just busy all the time. 9 months, like we're almost to a year,
Yeah.
which is a really big deal. And when you wake up on a day like today, honestly, is it like, oh, hey, cool? Or like, walk me through, if you can, like what kind of emotions you have on your anniversaries of being sober.
Ooh. So January 28th, 2019, I decided to get sober. And it's been 9 months now. And honestly, every month hits me by surprise, because I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm still going. And it's something new every time. And it's like every month or every period in the sobriety gets a little bit different. The first few months are super hard, for obvious reasons. You're trying to come off alcohol and other things, and then it starts getting this little phase, like a pink cloud is what they call it, and you get in this little phase where it's like all bliss and wonderful, and then life starts coming, and life is hard if you're sober or if you're not, you know what I mean? It's just, that's life. So
For sure.
9 months is by far, I'm hitting a different type of milestone, and it's a different type of place I'm in than I have been in my whole entire life. It really is. And it's, you know, I'm very thankful that I'm able to have a wife like I do that sticks by my side and takes care of me emotionally and all the stuff I go through up and down my roller coaster of my life. And yeah, 9 months means a lot to me right now, and I'm really thankful.
I feel like 9 months too is really different because, like you said, you go through these different phases, and like we've gone through several spots where we felt like, oh, things are so great and this is it. Like we've gotten here and this is it, and we're finally like, this is just going to be good from here on out.
Yeah.
And so every time it kind of knocks you back down, because there are different aspects of it. Like he said, in the beginning you're going through the physical. You actually go through the physical part of it for a year,
Yeah.
at least, like until your body really starts to come out of it. So in the beginning, of course, the physical part is way harder than anything else. But we've had several milestones that we kind of like have thought we were there, and we've had a rough time, and then we get back to where we think we're in a good place. And I feel like this is like by far the best place we've been.
By far.
For sure.
By far. But here's the thing, I don't want a milestone where I hit it and then that's it, like, oh, I made it, because there is no milestone. You always progress, you always want to get better.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to stop. So if I even come close to thinking I'm hitting where I'm supposed to be, I need to reassess and be like, okay, I need to push further and get better and be stronger than I am now. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all that needs to change.
I've said that a lot in the things that I've posted on that Facebook group that I tell you about for people that are going through life with an addict. And it changes, I think, what you need and when you need it. It's not like stopping the drinking, from my point of view, was the easiest part. The decision for you to say, I want to get sober, it was hard. It wasn't anything as hard as recovery is.
Right.
Like recovery is
Yeah.
so much harder. And I don't think people are prepared for that, and they don't know. And that's exactly why we're doing these, is we're really trying to, we really want people to hear our story and to hear his side as an addict and my side as his wife, and just our experience, not because we have it all figured out and not because we still don't know all the answers. We're still working on ourselves individually and as a couple, but just because nobody prepared us for it. Nobody told us what recovery. We thought he was going to get out of rehab and life was going to be beautiful and amazing, and not that it hasn't been in a lot of ways, but you're just not ready for it. Nobody warned us about what was coming.
No. For sure.
So what I had asked you this morning, and I think probably my guess would be that at different times through this 9 months that this answer to this question has changed as to what you feel like are the most important things and the things that really truly have been able to like keep you pushing through those hard times and keep you deciding every single day that you're not going to drink. Like, what are those major things for you? And like I said, I would guess that they probably change from time to time of what those things are.
What are the major things that keep me from drinking?
Yes, that keep you on track.
Ooh.
In general.
One and foremost is my family, for sure. Oh yeah, I can't let anybody down again. It's something I don't want to live with ever again. Just that pain and shame, and for me, dude, I just can't do it. And I keep that in my mind at all times, and I just don't want to go back to that. And I know if I do, I'm gonna hurt and let down a lot more people again. So yeah, that's my number one. Two, I'm starting to love myself, and I don't want to let myself down anymore. And it's really one of the best blessings I've got from recovery is I've been an addict most of my life, and it feels like I'm experiencing life for the first time, and everything is new and exciting like it should have been when I was in my 20s growing up. And it's kind of awesome, man, because you get just little things like buying a car with cash was like the coolest thing. I'm like, man, I just bought a car with cash. And it was like, for me, it was a huge accomplishment. I was like, okay, getting our house all fixed up, and just getting everything how life should have been is all new and exciting for me now. So yeah, that's a huge blessing for me, and it helps motivate me because everything is new and exciting, and I just look forward to in the future what I can accomplish and what I can achieve in my life as a sober person.
And I don't think that's what we talk about when like people don't prepare you for recovery, because it definitely wasn't like that coming out of it. Like, you don't just walk out the doors of rehab and feel that way about life.
Oh
like,
no,
feel like,
because most people, they go to recovery, they come out and their life's in turmoil still.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed at home. The only person you've been working on is yourself, which is an absolute must. But because without yourself being recovered, there is no future in your family. And
I think that's a really hard thing from, not for myself. I think it's a hard thing for people who are in a relationship with an addict, or I say loving your addict because it could be a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, a mother, a dad, whoever that person is for you. It's really hard to like know what you need and to realize that life is just doesn't go back to being
sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
like you thought it would be.
Rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah.
All of the time.
Yeah, man.
But that's something that I hope that I made really clear to you, because from my past and what I know about addiction, that the only way you can be successful at this is that your sobriety comes before anything else. And I think that's hard sometimes for especially a spouse to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you mean? That's not more important. I should be the most important thing. Like, obviously you're important, but exactly what you just said. And I think that's a hard thing for a spouse, especially, or a boyfriend or girlfriend, is to realize that no, it is not about you. If they don't stay sober, there's nothing.
Right.
There's nothing. And that's been hard for you, I think, too, to put yourself first, because that's not your personality.
No, it is not. Not at all. It's been hard, but that is part of loving yourself, and self-love is very important when you're going through this recovery process. You have to start loving yourself, and addicts just don't. We just don't. Otherwise, we'd be poisoning ourselves every day. And when you start loving yourself and seeing who you are inside, I'm not talking about the physical being. I'm talking about what you are inside. That's what's the most important part. You start bringing that out of yourself, you don't want to let it go. You want to see more of it, and that's...
Where do you think that disconnect is for people that have such a hard time and that are in rehab 3 and 4 and 5 times? You've all come out with the same, having learned the same lessons, having sat through the same classes. Like, what do you think that the shift, not in saying like, hey, put yourself on a pedestal, but maybe a little bit, what do you think the shift or the difference is for somebody that is able to come out of rehab knowing that they have to put themselves first and they won't let go of that, versus somebody that struggles many more times before they are able to keep it sober?
One, maybe I don't put myself on a pedestal. I was 42 years old before I got sober, which means that's a 42 years of pain and suffering and ups and downs, and getting sober, getting back on, from drugs to alcohol, everything. So I don't put myself on a pedestal, and I think I just knew I was done, because I just knew I was done, and I think that's the shift that you have to make. Either you're finished or you're done. Just a lot of people are finished. They'll be finished for that time period, for that little bit of time period, but you're not done.
I like that.
Done means over, never coming back.
Yeah.
Done with.
People have asked me that sometimes, like close people to us have said like, hey, after he gets like some time under his belt, like he'll be able to go have like a drink here and there, stuff like that, right? Like he'll get to that point where he can just go have a beer. And I think, again, going back to family members needing to understand, no.
That's a no.
That's a big hard no.
No. Addicts are wired differently.
Yeah.
And that's how I always get caught back in. I've been sober for a few times in my life, and every time it's just go have a beer, and it slowly progresses.
Yeah.
It's a progressive drug. Even when you're sober, it's still progressing inside you. So as soon as you get back in there, it's that much faster, that much quicker. You hit that damn wall, how fast you hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
So it's not even worth the risk.
Right?
Why would you even want to?
I heard that from a friend one time, like, I want to just prove to myself that I can go have a drink and prove that I'm strong enough to say no. But yeah, that's...
Man, I wish people would put it in a different perspective. I wish they would go, what benefits does alcohol serve or drugs serve? Honestly, what benefits is there to it? There is none. Society makes it seem so acceptable and like it's part of life, and dude, you're putting poison in your body. Alcohol kills over 3 million people a year. Second to only opiates and heroin.
It kills me.
So, and this is a legal drug, by the way. Legal, it's everywhere. There's no benefit to it, so why would you want to even put it in your body?
Right, attempt it. And listen, we are definitely not in any way being judgmental of anybody who drinks.
No.
Anybody who has that lifestyle. Like, we had our fun.
Yes, we did.
Like, do not get me wrong. We had our fun. We are not sitting up here going, oh, well, you're so stupid. Guess what? We were stupid too. Like, we get it. Like, we're not trying to chastise anybody. We're just trying to get, again, our opinions across that really, truly, and especially if you're an addict or you think you might be, or you have addictive traits in any way, like, why even tempt that?
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to people that could go have a drink and put it down.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to the people that
which is different.
Have
there
an
are
issue.
People.
You have to get that in your head and actually change the brain patterns and how you think, and be like, man, that's poison I'm putting in me. I did it for years. I loved alcohol, man, but it really is poison. And it's poison to those who can't drink and put that down. It's a life-ending, family-ending killer
to those people.
For those people, it kills them.
Yeah.
So
because you would love to be able to, like,
oh hell yeah,
hey, let's go have a ice cold beer. Like, oh, that'd be amazing. It's not gonna.
But
happen.
I can't. So
it's just not gonna happen. Yeah.
I'm brainwashed my own brain believing it's poison. I don't even want to touch it anyways. And look how healthy I am now. How much stronger I'm getting now.
And you had kind of come to that realization a couple of years ago.
Yes, I did.
Is it Craig Beck?
Craig Beck, yes.
Craig Beck, who he found on YouTube, and he came to that realization. It was probably 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
2 years
almost
ago, the first attempt to get sober.
Yeah, the first attempt.
I would go 30 days, then 6 months on, then 30 days off, 6 months on, and I'd miss like every, like 2 or 3 New Years in a row. I'm not drinking this New Year's, but it just failed as an attempt because my brain wasn't where it should be. I was in my Headspace wasn't where it should be yet. I wasn't done. I was
You
trying
knew,
to be finished.
yes,
but,
you knew.
You know what I mean?
You knew the concept behind. You knew you were an addict. You knew you didn't want to live that way.
Yeah.
You knew it was you were literally killing yourself and poisoning yourself. But I think what you just said is the key. Like you would always tell me. I just posted that in the group that I'm on tonight. Is that there is a difference with addicts and the ones that will manipulate and say what they need to say and do what they need to do to continue their behavior. And they will manipulate everyone around them to believing that they're gonna do it, they're gonna get sober, they're gonna stop on Monday, they're gonna quit this year. But it's really to continue what they're doing. That is something that when
I think
he was
deep down inside they want.
Yeah, I think they do.
The only really.
Some people I think are just like, I'm good. Why should I have to change? I get to do what I want. Yep, it's probably killing me, but I'm having a heck of a good time. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That'd be interesting to find out. But it definitely was a process for you, for sure, to get to that place of like knowing all of that logistically, and
my
and finally saying
sobriety started 2 years before I ever quit drinking.
That's true.
I started listening to motivational videos and started to really getting into self-improvement and like personal development, stuff like that. And I think that's what it took for me, is to really start believing and thinking a different pattern than I ever had my whole life. And I think it all led up to this moment where I just I drank myself into this big hole. And honestly, I drank myself so hard because I wanted to make myself sick of it so bad that I took myself to the darkest place I possibly could, which I don't recommend.
No.
It was just my way of dealing with it.
No.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. I wasn't very healthy. It was not
scary.
good. It was scary.
It was very scary.
But that's kind of what I'm hard-headed, man. So that's kind of what I needed to do, is make myself
bang your own head against the wall.
so sick of the alcohol that I never wanted to touch it again. You know, and it really is. It is about your brain shift, and it really is about what you're putting in your brain and who you're hanging out with, to be honest. And you just got to change it all. You got to start changing your brain patterns and start how you think.
Yeah.
And if you really want to get sober, that's what you have to do.
Yes, that was the point that I was going after, is that there is a difference. And when that's something that I always appreciated with you, and I have told you that many times, that of all the things that we have to deal with over the last few years that were crazy and ugly and awful, I don't have to deal with you lying and bullshitting me about you wanting to get sober. He never ever was like, oh, I promise I'm gonna do it. No, he would straight up tell me, quit talking to me about it. When I'm done, I'll be done. And I know him well enough to know that he meant it. That when he decides he is either committed to something, done with something, whatever that is, when he puts his head to something, that's it. There's no talking him out of it. There's no, just nothing. He will stay on that path. And so that was hard in a sense, but I really appreciated that he was totally honest about it. He never bullshitted me about, I'm gonna get sober.
There was bullshit in my with the hard liquor and stuff, because I knew you guys, it made me worse, and so I'd hide that. But I don't know, it doesn't make you special.
No, you thought you hid it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Hid it in my secret spots, right?
Hid it because you told me a long time ago, don't ask. I was writing this in the book the other day. So that's our grandson's car outside.
Yeah.
That you always told me, don't ask questions that you don't really want the answer to. So there was plenty of times that I was like, I really don't want him to answer that question, so I'm just not even gonna ask. So you tried to be more secretive, not necessarily lie about it, but you tried to be a little bit more secretive about it.
So what we're trying to get at today is 9 months, what it takes after you make that choice. We kind of talked a lot about how you get to that choice, and that choice is, that's all depending on you and what you want to decide. And when you've had enough, there is help out there, and you have to reach out and let go of that ego, that pride, or whatever is holding you back. You gotta let go of that and just make that jump and ask for help. And after that first step is initiated, then you gotta put in the real work, and it is a lot of work. There's a lot of, on AA, they call them the steps. I'm not preaching AA or pushing all that on everybody, but that does work. It's there are certain steps you gotta do. Like it's almost like you're recovering from life and who the people you hurt and all that stuff. You have to get that out of you in order to forgive yourself, first of all, and ask for forgiveness from others. Otherwise, you won't make it. But the number one thing I've learned after getting out of rehab is don't sit still. Don't wait. If you're feeling urges and anxious, move your damn feet and start moving. I don't sit down. I work 60 hours a week. We started this rental business, put a crap load of hours into that. Whatever I could find, I'd get my hands on and start doing it. I don't allow myself to sit there and let my stinking thinking bullshit go on. I just keep on moving. And that's starting to calm. I'm thankful for that. I don't want to stop what I'm doing because I really enjoy being successful at what we're doing.
But we are able to now. It was not like that. We are able to sit and watch a movie and not
for sure.
have that anxious feeling take over. But at 9 months, like that's a long time to even just be able to start to be comfortable in your own skin.
But you're never safe, dude.
No.
You could be 9 months, 9 years, and that shit will sneak up on you. I've seen many addicts. I've talked to many addicts. Talked to addicts that have been sober 20 years and slipped up just that one time, and they're right back into shit and have to start all over again. And it really is starting all over again. And it's a fight, man. So if you're willing to do this and want to be sober, you have to fight. And it's not always going to be easy, but I'll tell you, it is worth it. It's very freaking worth it. It's way better than the alternative of being in that hell that you're living in.
And do you remember that there was really a time that we used to think like, what, we would never have fun. Like, this is so much fun. Like, we really, in my mind, I thought you honestly couldn't ever see a way that you could have an enjoyable time and have a good time and go out and have fun without it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
And now it's like, oh my gosh, like,
I used to plan
what? That was the dumbest thing ever.
I used to plan when I quit doing drugs maybe 9-10 years ago. I used to plan that by, all right, now I got to replace that with something, so I'll have a beer or two here and there. And then alcohol, it's like, okay, I got to replace that with something. I better start smoking weed or something. It's always a replacement because there's no way in hell I could just be sober and have a normal functioning life and be.
You really believe that there was no way.
And really, what that is, man, you're afraid to face your own damn feelings and fears, and
yeah.
Once you start facing those, man, and getting those damn things knocked out of your way, life gets a lot simpler. Not that we're even close where I want to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is getting easier.
Yeah, we're getting there. 9 months is a big deal.
9 months is a big deal.
It's a big deal. We're gonna go to something, Celebrate Recovery or something this weekend and get his 9-month chip, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Holds on to those with pride, as he should. That's something that I've really enjoyed too, is that he is very proud of this, and it's not something that he's nor should any person who has gotten sober ever feel like this is something they should hide. It's not something you should be ashamed of in any way whatsoever. This has made you the person that you are, and it is a part of your story, and you're the one that gets to write the ending to that story. And you should wear that with pride, and you should hold your head high and just a badge of honor, and you have no idea who else you can help and affect along the way.
Yeah.
By being proud of that and by talking about it and just being open about it.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate that you've done that.
Thanks, baby.
So if you need help, if you are looking, if you are on the fence about getting sober, please reach out to us. We would love to help. We do not have it figured out. If we don't have suggestions, if we can't offer advice, we definitely know of resources. Read books, listen to YouTube channels, get your hands on any information that you can. That's been tremendous for us, is reading and YouTube. I think those have been the two biggest things for us.
Yeah, heck yeah. We do with the information we have at our fingertips at all times.
Yeah.
There's no excuse not to just keep on searching, and
find the support. And the more that we have learned, both of us from each side, the more we have learned about the science behind this and the physical things that are going on inside an addict's body and their brain, the way their brain works, has made this process, it's more manageable. I'm much more able to be patient with this process by understanding
for sure
this process and the scientific side behind it. There's
definitely
so much.
Something I want to talk about in another video.
Yes, there's so much.
So
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
reach out and find some help, and
For
let
sure.
us know if you guys need any help. And hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
and keep those feet moving.